Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about NXT for July 20th, 2021. Tonight's show, it was okay. It was in the middle. It wasn't all that great. It was fine for what it was. It seemed like nothing happened on the show besides the Samoa Joe calling out Karrion Kross the entire night. And, Mr. Regal just calming him down and all that stuff. Joe wants to get his hands on Karrion Kross. That's all that happened on the show. Everything else, it was important too, but tonight's show is built around Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross, so that's all that happened on the show, man. And with NXT, man, I'm really starting to lose faith, man, in NXT. I really am because if you guys watched Monday Night Raw last night, man, they called up Karrion Kross. They called up Karrion Kross on the main roster, who is the NXT champion, by the way, who's the NXT champion. He showed up on Raw last night and he fought Jeff Hardy and he lost to Jeff Hardy. Not only that, when he came out to his theme music, Scarlett wasn't even there. Scarlett was not there with him. So they took away Scarlett from Kross. I don't know why these people would take away Scarlett from Kross. Like why? They are a package deal. They are a package deal. Everywhere Kross goes, Scarlett is right behind him. Why would they take something so perfectly and ruin it, man? And that's type like what happened last night on Monday Night Raw was freaking disgusting. It was downright. It pissed me off, dude. It really did. It really did, dude. And with NXT, man, I don't know what's the point. Like if you're gonna call these people up to the main roster and you're gonna ruin them like that, what's the point of having NXT? What's the point of watching NXT if that's gonna happen? Just imagine what they're gonna do to everybody else that gets called up to the main roster. Imagine what's gonna happen to Adam Cole or Io Shirai or anybody there, Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma, Hit Row when they get called up. Imagine what's gonna happen to each and every single person that's doing good right now in NXT. Just imagine what's gonna happen to them on the main roster. Just imagine what's gonna happen to them. Like, dude, when I was watching this show, man, when I was watching tonight's show, I had Kross on my mind the entire time. And they should be ashamed of themselves, man. WWE should be ashamed of themselves for doing that to Kross. Why would you? This dude was undefeated for a year. Ever since he been in NXT, this guy was undefeated, and he became NXT champion. And then he got hurt. He came back, won back the NXT championship. He beat Balor. He beat Keith Lee. He beat everybody that was in that ring with him. Everybody. Tommaso Ciampa. He beating everybody. And he showed up on his first night on Monday Night Raw and he lose to Jeff freaking Hardy. Jeff Hardy, a person who has lost a lot of matches that he's been in. They treat Jeff Hardy like a jobber. And Kross, he lost to a jobber. He lost to a person that loses a lot on TV. And guys like Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano can't even beat Kross, but Jeff freaking Hardy did. But yeah, that's the only thing that was on my mind when I was watching NXT, man. Karrion Kross, how they ruined this guy. But yeah, man, that was NXT, man. That was NXT. Nothing really much happened on the show. Like I said before, it was built around Joe and Kross. So yeah, man. So yeah, this is the NXT review on the Ryan Awesome Show for July 20th, 2021. And just like what I said in my intro all the time, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already and hit the subscribe button. And then there's a bell right next to that subscribe button. You click on that bell and you'll be notified on when my next video will come out. And so yeah, so first off, man, we had Samoa Joe. He came out to the ring, he spoke, he was dressed in his street clothes, he had his t-shirt on. And so yeah, so Joe, as always, had an angry look on his face. And so Joe, he has said that, you know, he's here to break Kross's clock or to smash his clock. And so Mr. Regal, he had came out, he tried to stop Joe from, he tried to calm Joe down. He tried to stop Joe from attacking Karrion Kross. And so, you know, Mr. Regal, he said that's not what we agreed on when you came here. And so Joe, he has said that we both agreed that if I was provoked, then everything is fine. I could put my hands on him. And last week I was provoked. He choked me out in the middle of this ring for no reason. So therefore I was provoked. So I have every single right on putting my hands on Karrion Kross. And so Mr. Regal, he has said that, you know, it was Samoa Joe, the referee, that was attacked, not Samoa Joe, who's in management. And so Joe, he grew angry. He was angry. He was like, "Oh, now you want to play the semantics game, huh?" And so yeah, so Kross, he had told Mr. Regal that that Kross is out of control. Kross is out of control. As the NXT champion, he is out of control. And so Joe, he said that he will put Kross in control. Joe said that he would put Kross in control. And so Regal, he has said that, Joe, you need to handle this peacefully with Kross. And so Joe, he has said that tonight, you know, tonight will be the end of it. Tonight will be the end of it. But I cannot promise you that it will end peacefully. And so yeah, so Joe, he said that someone, you know, somebody's gonna be going to sleep tonight. And so that was it from that promo from Joe. From always, great promo from Joe, man. You know, his delivery and his promos is legit, man. Like, you believe every single word that comes out of his mouth. So yeah, man. And everything that he says, man, he always backs it up. So that's why Joe is so good, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. So just like what I said before, tonight's show was built all around. It was all about Kross and Joe. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Xia Li representing Tian Sha. So Xia Li, she had spoke. She said that tonight is her night, and she would do the same thing to Raquel Gonzalez, that she did to Mercedes Martinez by knocking her out. So she said she's gonna knock out Gonzalez the same way that she knocked out Mercedes Martinez. And so Li, she had said that tonight she will make history by becoming the first Chinese NXT Women's Champion. And so yeah, that was it with that. So later on in the main event, it was Xia Li versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. And so right after that, we had our first match of the night, and it was a tag team match. And it was Diamond Mine, so that's Roderick Strong and Tyler Rust, with Malcolm Bivens and Hideki Suzuki versus Kushida, who is the Cruiserweight Champion of NXT, and Bobby Fish. And so yeah, so while Diamond Mine were making their entrance, you had Bobby Fish and Kushida attack Roderick Strong and Rust from behind while they were making their entrance. And so Kushida and Fish, they took control of the match. We had a springboard senton to Rust from Fish. We had chops to Kushida from Strong. We had a double underhook suplex to Kushida from Strong. We had a double springboard elbow drop to Roderick Strong and Tyler Rust from Kushida. And then we had a hot tag to Bobby Fish. He took out Strong and Rust with kicks. And so at that point, we had Roderick Strong. He had slammed Bobby Fish on the ring apron. And so we went to commercial break. It felt like a long commercial break. And we did not have a picture-in-picture with this one. And so we came back from commercial break. The heels had took control of the match. We had knee strikes to Fish from Strong. And so Tyler Rust, he started kicking Fish over and over and over again. And we had a spine buster to Rust from Bobby Fish to create some space. And we had a hot tag to Kushida. He took out Rust and Strong. And he hit a cartwheel drop kick to Strong. And then Kushida, he tried to go for the PK kick to Roderick Strong's arm. But Strong, he had saw it coming. So he moved out of the way. And so yeah, Roderick Strong, he had tagged in Tyler Rust. He had a gut wrench powerbomb to Kushida. And then we had an ankle lock to Kushida from Rust. And then Kushida had fought out of it. And so Kushida had targeted Tyler Rust's arm. And so to end the match, we had Kushida had locked in the hoverboard lock to Tyler Rust to win the match. So Rust, he quickly tapped out as soon as the lock was held in, or the lock was locked on. So Kushida and Bobby Fish wins the match. And that was it, man. You know, it was good. The match was good, but I don't know why Diamond Mine lost this match. I really don't know why they lost the match. Like, you just debuted them as a faction, and you have them lose in a tag team match. So I don't know why would you do that? And then again, you don't want to have Kushida lose either because he's the Cruiserweight champion, and champions should always win in every single match that they're in. But yeah, I would have gave the win to Diamond Mine. I would have gave the win to Diamond Mine and had Bobby Fish get pinned. Bobby Fish is the only person, the only person in this match that could probably take a loss. Not Kushida, not Diamond Mine. Bobby Fish should have took that loss. He should have ate the pin. That's what should have happened. But yeah, if you're gonna debut a faction, man, you gotta have them win. You gotta have that faction win. You gotta have them look strong about winning matches. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. They arrived to the arena, the Capitol Wrestling Center. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were arguing, about them coming late. And so Knight, he had told Cameron Grimes to get his bags out of the trunk. And so Grimes, he got out of the car, got the bags out of the trunk. And so it looked like it was 5 bags. I think it was like 4 or 5 bags. And so Grimes, he had grabbed all the bags, and so he dropped the bags. And so yeah, Drake Maverick, he came out of nowhere. And so he helped Grimes pick up the bags. And so Grimes, he had told Maverick, like, hey man, I got it. You don't have to help me out. I got this. I got myself into this, so I'm gonna finish it. And so LA Knight, he had came in, he told Maverick to beat it, like scram. And so Maverick, he had said that I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. And so Knight, he had asked Maverick, like, why are you here, dude? Why are you here? Is this bring your idiot to work day? I thought that was funny. And so he was like, who brought you here, man? Who brought you here? And so Knight, he had challenged Drake Maverick to a match later on tonight. And so Grimes, he told Maverick not to let LA Knight get to him. And that was it with that, man. Absolutely love this, man. Love the Grimes and LA Knight stuff, man. Like Grimes, he looks like he's enjoying it, man. He looks like he's enjoying him being a butler. He enjoying his role as a butler. He's still himself. He's not he's not boring or anything as a butler. He still get to be charismatic. He can still be Cameron Grimes. And yeah, man, they just got great chemistry together. So that's why this turned out to be good, man. And so that was it with that. And so they announced in the show that NXT TakeOver 36 will be coming soon, and it's coming on August 22nd, 2021. So that's on Sunday. So we have a takeover on Sunday, which is NXT TakeOver 36. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a vignette from Odyssey Jones. He spoke. Jones, who is a contender, or not a contender, he's competing in a breakout tournament, NXT breakout tournament. And so Jones, he has said that it is his moment to shine in a breakout tournament. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had a match, and it was Franky Monet with Jessi Kamea versus Jacy Jane. So
yeah, so Robert Stone, he had came out too. He came out to accompany Jessi, Kamea, and Franky Monet. And so he was watching the match while he was talking to Kamea. And so Jane did get some offense in the match. We had a corner meteor to Jane. And at that point, Mandy Rose, she had came out and she went behind the commentary's desk and she laid on the commentary table. And so, yeah, we had a pump kick to Monet. We had a jumping neck breaker to Monet. She kicked out. And to end the match, we had a glam slam to Jane to win the match. So Franky Monet wins the match. And that was it, man. I did not care about this dude. I really didn't care about it. Really don't care about this feud and this match and the Robert Stone brand. Really don't care. And it's just too many distractions, man. And we still don't know why Mandy Rose is there. We still don't know why she's there. Do she wants to join the Robert Stone brand? That's what it looks like it's going. Or do she want to feud with the Robert Stone brand? Like why is she here? Why is Mandy Rose here? Did she get traded? Did she get traded? Who did she get traded for? Don't even know. But yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, so right after that, we had a backstage segment from McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Johnny Gargano with Austin Theory. And so yeah, they talked about, Johnny Gargano's his last match with Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship last week. And so Kyle O'Reilly, he had interrupted the interview, and he said that he had a bone to pick with Austin Theory for, because Theory had talked behind Kyle O'Reilly's back with that interview that Kyle O'Reilly had with Wade Barrett. He heard Austin Theory talk trash about him, calling him a crybaby and all that stuff. And so O'Reilly, he challenged Austin Theory to a match later on tonight. And so Theory, he accepted the match. And so right after that, Gargano, he had told Austin Theory, like, hey, man, you're going to do this alone. You're going to do this alone. You're going to go out to the ring by yourself, just like what I did last week, just like Papa John did last week. So you're going to come out to this ring by yourself. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had an interview from Wade Barrett. So Wade Barrett, he interviews the colossal Bronson Reed. And so Reed, he had talked about losing the NXT North American Championship and how devastating it was. And Reed, he had said that, now he will fight harder. And so Barrett, he had asked Bronson Reed, like, was it wise for you to go after Adam Cole and face Adam Cole? And so Reed, he had said that he's here to fight the best. And who better than Adam Cole? So that's why he went after Adam Cole. And so Reed, he had said that he will. I put Cole down. He tried to take me out last week, but I put him down. I'm gonna put him down again next week. And so that was it with that. So that's a match made next week. So it's gonna be Bronson Reed versus Adam Cole next week. So that should be good, man. That should be really good. And so yeah, so that was it with that. So right after that, we had a match, and it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Austin Theory representing the Way. And so yeah, we had Austin Theory. He came out to his own theme music, so he has new theme music. And so we had the crowd. The crowd was 50-50. Half of the crowd was cheering for Austin Theory, and the other half was cheering for O'Reilly. And so O'Reilly and Theory, they try to out wrestle each other. And in Theory, he started talking trash to O'Reilly, calling him a crybaby and all that stuff. We had a jumping knee to Theory right in the midsection. And so O'Reilly and Theory, they were going back and forth during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And we had kicks and strikes to Theory. And we had a rolling, jumping blockbuster to O'Reilly and kicked out. And so we had a rolling drop kick to O'Reilly. And, right off of that drop kick, O'Reilly, he actually caught his leg off of the drop kick, and he locked in a heel hook or a leg lock or a figure four, whatever it was. And in Theory, he had rolled to the ropes to break up the submission hold. And so we had a fisherman suplex to O'Reilly. And O'Reilly, he started fighting back with kicks and strikes and slaps to Theory. And so O'Reilly, he locked in a series of submission moves to Theory. And then Theory, he had grabbed the rope. And so we had a torture rack powerbomb to O'Reilly. He kicked out of that move. And we had a pump handle into a neck breaker on the knee to O'Reilly. So that was nice, man. And so, O'Reilly, he kicked out of that move too. And so Theory, he started losing his mind, saying why is he not staying down? And so Theory, he went outside the ring and he grabbed the steel steps and he looked like he was about to use them. And so O'Reilly had saw him and he started to unload. He started to unload on Austin Theory. And so yeah, so O'Reilly started hitting Theory with forearms and strikes. We had a diving knee drop to Theory's leg. And so to end the match, we had O'Reilly. He locked in a heel hook to Austin Theory to win the match. So Austin Theory, he taps out. And right after Theory tapped out, O'Reilly, he did not want to let go of the hold. And so the referee had to make him, the referee had to get him off of Theory. And so, O'Reilly, he broke the hold. So Kyle O'Reilly wins the match, man. This is a good match. Great back and forth with these two, man. And yeah, man. And it was a great warm-up match. A great warm-up match for O'Reilly, because he will be going up against Cole later on. So yeah, man. That was it with that. And so right after that, we had a backstage segment or backstage interview from McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Raquel Gonzalez, who is the NXT Women's Champion, with Dakota Kai. And so, yeah, so Gonzalez, she said that, Xia Li would not beat me tonight. I will beat Xia Li. And so Kai, she had talked about Xia Li too. She said that Xia Li had stole a spotlight last week when Kai had beat Ember Moon last week. And so Gonzalez, she said that Xia Li and Tian Sha, they don't scare her. They don't scare Gonzalez. And so Gonzalez, she said that right after she takes out Xia Li, there ain't gonna be nobody left. There ain't gonna be nobody left to beat. And so Gonzalez, she had told Dakota Kai, let's go. Let's get out of here. And so that was it with that. So later on that night, it was Xia Li versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. And so right after that, we had Legado del Fantasma. That's Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. They spoke. So at first they were supposed to have a musical performance, but they changed their mind at the last minute. And so yeah, they said that they're not gonna stoop down to Hit Row's level and everybody else's level by performing some musical performance and embarrassing themselves. And so Escobar, he said that he will take away the North American Championship. And so Hit Row interrupted, and so they called Santos Escobar's Marachi music trash and all that stuff. And so Isaiah Swerve Scott, he talked about their feud that they had last year in 2020 during the pandemic era. It was him versus Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Legado del Fantasma, costing him the championship and all that stuff. And so Swerve, he had said that, I didn't forget what you did to me. I did not forget what you did to me last year. So that's why I made a group of my own, and now karma is coming back to bite you in the end. And so Escobar, he said that, I will win the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. I will win the NXT North American Championship, and I will bring it back to Mexico. And so Hit Row, they got in the ring. They had a stare off with Legado del Fantasma. And so Top Dollar and Ashanti the Adonis, they took out Wilde and Mendoza while Swerve and Escobar were staring at each other. And so Escobar and Swerve, they started a fight too. And so Escobar, he tried to hit Swerve with the guitar because they had like the guitars in the ring. So Escobar, he grabbed the guitar and he tried to hit Swerve with it, but B-Fab from outside the ring, she took the guitar away from Escobar. And so Swerve was about to hit Escobar with the guitar, but Escobar, he got out of the ring. And so Joaquin, while he tried to attack Swerve from behind, and so Hit Row had warned him and had warned Swerve like, "Hey, Swerve, look behind you." And so he saw Wilde, and so Hit Row had gained up on Wilde, and so Swerve, he ended up grabbing the guitar and he ended up hitting Wilde with the guitar in the back, so the guitar had smashed to pieces, and so that was it with that. And so yeah, of course it's gonna be Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott going after the title, or Santos Escobar going after the title. Now with this, I don't know who are the heels and who are the baby faces. I don't know. Like they're both heels. Heel is a heel versus heel match. So who's the heel and who's the baby face? Like I really don't know. Like what NXT does, man. What they have been doing lately, they've been doing a lot of heel versus heel matches a lot, man. Lately, they're doing it right now with Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar. They did it last time with Gargano and Kross. They did it tonight with Xia Li and Raquel Gonzalez, heel versus heel. Like we have too many heel versus heel matches. So Yeah, the match should be good, man. The match should be good with Swerve and Escobar, but who is the heels and who are the babyface? Who am I supposed to cheer for? Who am I supposed to sympathize with? Who am I supposed to boo? Who am I supposed to cheer? Who are the crowd supposed to boo and who are the crowd supposed to cheer? Yeah, we don't know, man. But yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a backstage segment from The Way. That's Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Austin Theory, and Indy Hartwell. So they were all arguing with each other. LeRae, she said that, because all of them, the way right now, they are not looking good right now. You have Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They lost their NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. And Candice LeRae, she said that Gargano had lost to Kross. And then LeRae, she had asked, like, Austin Theory, like, why are you out here fighting, picking fights with people, knowing that you're not going to win the fight? And so Indy Hartwell, she told Candice LeRae, like, hey, don't be too hard on Theory. If he wants to kiss Loomis, let him kiss Loomis. And so everybody paused. They were like, what? And so Candice LeRae, she said that, she's going to call that therapist. I'm going to call that therapist right now. And so, yeah, so Theory, he had said that the family is falling apart. So the family is falling apart. And, everybody was still arguing. They're not listening to what Austin Theory has to say. And so Austin Theory, he walked away while everybody was arguing. And so they don't even know that Austin Theory had left. So that was it. And yeah, man, I did hear reports saying that Austin Theory is on his way back to the main roster. No, please don't. God, no. Please do not bring him on the main roster. Like, do not break him away from the way. Please don't. He's doing great in the way. He's needed in the way. He's needed in NXT. What exactly he's gonna do on the main roster? Like what? What exactly he's gonna do? What exactly he's gonna do? Now on that SmackDown show, the first night that they had fans, he was on that show. He was on a dark match. He was in a dark match. He was with David Hart Smith or Harry Smith or whatever you want to call him. It was a tag team match. It was him. It was Austin Theory and Harry Smith versus I don't know who they went up against, but they were on SmackDown. They were on SmackDown in a dark match. So Theory, he could be on his way to the main roster, back on the main roster. I wouldn't do that, man. I wouldn't. Like, dude, if you do that, you're breaking up a faction. So stop calling up people to the main roster. Stop it. Like, dude, that's their problem. They call too many people up. They call too many people up to the main roster, and like, dude, they're not even using the people that they called up originally. They're not even using, like, they. You remember that last batch that they had called up in 2019, man? The Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Heavy Machinery, Lars Sullivan, and all those other guys, Ricochet, Aleister Black. They didn't do nothing with those guys, and now they calling up more people. They calling up more people. And I was like, dude, stop calling up more people. You don't need to call up more people. Like, dude, in the end, they're gonna end up taking everybody away from NXT. So that's why I'm asking, like, dude, what's the point of having NXT? What is the point of having NXT if these people gonna keep calling these people up and ruining them on Raw and SmackDown? Like, I don't know, man. I do not know. But yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Samoa Joe. He was backstage. He was angry. And so Mr. Regal had to calm him down. And so, yeah, so Mr. Regal, he told him, like, hey, man, remember what I told you. Take this peacefully. And so Joe, he has said that, he's going to be the first person to greet Kross. Like, I respect you, Mr. Regal. It's not about you, Mr. Regal, and I respect you. But, I got to do what I got to do, man. I will be the first person to take out, to greet Kross. And so Regal, he said, peacefully, do it peacefully. And so that was it with that. So right after that, we had another match. It was the first round tournament of the NXT Breakout Tournament. So it was Andre Chase versus Odyssey Jones. And so yeah, we had an Odyssey chant from the crowd. Yeah, this was not good, man. This is not good. This match was sloppy, man. It really was. Like we did have one scary spot in this match, dude. We had a big boot to Jones. Jones, he started staggering and all that stuff. And then Chase, he had dove onto Jones outside the ring. He had caught him. And then Jones ended up dropping him. He slipped up, or he didn't grab him the right way, so he ended up dropping him on his head. Chase did. He fell on his head. Chase did. And so, yeah, that was a nasty spot. It was an absolute nasty spot. And so Jacy started to go after Jones's arm. And so Chase hit a moonsault to Jones and he kicked out. And then Jones ended up fighting back. And to end the match, we had a side slam to Chase to win the match. So that was it with the match. So Odyssey Jones wins the match and it will advance to the next round of the tournament. And so that was it with the match. And so yeah, I will say this one thing about Jones though. He is a big dude. He is a big freaking dude, and he can move. He can move in that ring. But this match was not good, man. It wasn't. But yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a backstage segment from McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews MSK, who are the NXT Tag Team Champions. That's Nash, Carter, and Wesley. And so McKenzie, she had asked MSK about, who's gonna challenge you next for the NXT Tag Team titles. And so MSK, they said that, they were ready for all challengers. They don't care who's next. We're ready for all challengers. And so McKenzie, she had asked MSK the same question that everybody has been asking. What does MSK stands for? And so they started to talk. They said that, in 2015 in Dayton, Ohio, and they were interrupted by a promo package from Imperium. So we didn't even hear the story. We didn't hear the story of the MSK name. So Imperium, they started talking about their quest on the NXT Tag Team titles, and they were talking about all the tag teams of NXT, calling them jokes and everything, that they're not worthy to be tag team champions. And so that was it with the vignette. And so right after we came from the vignette, right after the vignette, we had MSK. They said that was MSK stand for. That's exactly what MSK stands for. And so McKenzie Mitchell, she says, "Oh, that's what it stands for. That makes so much sense." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Dude, we didn't even hear what they said. Like, what does it stand for? Like, are they trying to keep it like secret? Like, dude, what exactly does it stand for? Like, why are you keeping secrets away from everybody? Like, what does it stand for?" I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. But that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a backstage segment from Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. They spoke. They talked about Tommaso Ciampa and Toothless Timothy Thatcher. And they said they didn't want to scrap with them. They want to scrap with Thatcher and Ciampa next week. And so Oney Lorcan, he said that next week we will see how tough Ciampa and Thatcher really are. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match, and it was L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight, who is the $1 Million champion, with Cameron Grimes in his corner, versus Drake Maverick. And so so Knight, he ordered Cameron Grimes to hold the $1 Million championship and hold it up in the air. And so Maverick, he went right after Knight off of the distraction. And so Knight, he told Cameron Grimes to hold up the championship again because he wasn't holding it up. And so we had a diving crossbody to Knight. We had a fallaway slam to Maverick. And then Grimes, again, he was not holding up the championship. And so, Knight, he had to tell him, like, to hold up the championship. When I tell you to hold up the championship, hold up the championship. And so Maverick, he kicked L.A. Knight into the $1 Million championship. So L.A. Knight actually hit his face on the championship. And so Maverick, he had rolled up L.A. Knight for the win. So Drake Maverick wins the match. And so that was it with that. So right after the match, we had L.A. Knight. He attacked Drake Maverick. So Drake Maverick, he was celebrating for a little bit. And so Cameron Grimes, on the outside of the ring, he was telling, like, Drake Maverick, like, "Hey, you gotta get out of here, man. You have to get out of here." And so Drake Maverick, he went the wrong way. Instead of going Cameron Grimes' way, he went the other way. And so Knight ended up taking out Maverick. And so Grimes had stopped L.A. Knight from attacking, Maverick. And so Knight, he had ordered Cameron Grimes to attack Maverick himself. And so Grimes, he refused. Like, "I'm not going to do it. I'm not about to do your dirty work." And so Knight, he had told Grimes, like, "Hey, you said, like, you told me that you were a man of your words. You told me that whatever assignment that I give you, you were going to do it, right? So I'm ordering you to punch this guy in the face. I'm ordering you to punch Drake Maverick in his face. Punch him in his face." And so Grimes, he had punched Maverick in the face. And so that was it with that. So a butler, man, you ordering a butler to punch somebody in the face, man, that's a prick move, man. Or you ordering your butler to beat somebody up, dude. Yeah, that was crazy, man. But yeah, that was it with the match. I don't know why LA Knight is losing, man. He's the champion. He's the $1 million champion. Why is he losing in a non-title match? Like champion, like that's my biggest pet peeves. That's my biggest pet peeves is when these wrestling shows they book their champions to lose all the time. Like why? Why are you doing this? You making the champion look bad and you making a championship look bad. So stop having these champions losing non-title matches. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had Samoa Joe. So first off, before Samoa Joe came out, we had Karrion Kross's car. Somebody was driving Karrion Kross's Challenger or his Charger, whatever it was, to the arena. And so Joe saw the car, and so he went up to the car. He opened up the door. It wasn't Kross. Kross was not in the car. It was somebody that was hired to drive Kross's car. And so Joe had dragged this guy out of the car, and he had pinned him up against the car. And he asked him like, "Where is Kross? Where is he? Where is he?" And so the guy had told Joe like, "He's inside. He's inside." And so Joe had let the guy go, and so he went inside. And so that was it with that. Now, before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show. Let's talk about next week's show. So yeah, so we have, so yeah, so yeah, they did announce that for 2 weeks, NXT will be on Sci-Fi for 2 weeks because I think something is gonna happen on the USA Network during that time. And so yeah, that's gonna be on in 2 weeks. NXT going to Sci-Fi, and also we have a match: Adam Cole, Bebe versus Bronson Reed, the Colossal, next week. And we have a tag team match. It's going to be Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan versus Tommaso Ciampa and Toothless Timothy Thatcher. And also we have the first round of the breakout NXT tournament. And it's going to be Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs. And that's it for next week. That was everything that was announced for next week. And so, yeah, man. So the main event. So this is the final match on the show. And so it was the NXT Women's Championship match. And it was Xia Li versus Raquel Gonzalez, who is the NXT Women's Champion, with Dakota Kai in her corner. And so yeah, man, this was not all that good, man. This was not all that good. It wasn't, man. The crowd seems like the crowd wasn't even into it. They were not into it at all. They weren't. And so yeah, we had Gonzalez. She started to use her power against Lee, and then Lee started kicking Gonzalez. We had a big boot to Lee, and then Lee started going after Gonzalez's leg. And then Lee, she took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And we had a follow-away slam to Lee. We had a drop kick to Lee, and she kicked out. And we had a spinning kick to Gonzalez, and she also kicked out. And we had a spinning springboard splash to Xia Li. So this is what knocked Xia Li out. So Lee was knocked out after that. So Gonzalez went for the cover right after she hit that move, and Lee kicked out. And so Lee, of course, she was down, and the referee and the medical team were checking on Xia Li. And so whenever you see the medical team or the referee checking on somebody, it's not good at all. And so Gonzalez started yelling at Lee to get up. Like, get up, you asked for this, get up and fight me. And so Lee got up, and she ended up getting powerbombed. She hit a one-handed powerbomb to Lee to win the match. Gonzalez likes to call her move the Chigona bomb to Xia Li to win the match. So Raquel Gonzalez wins the match and is still the NXT Women's Champion. And so yeah, man, yeah, I don't know if that was that move that ended the match that quickly. Probably was, but yeah, man, that was a nasty spot. A nasty spot. She used all her weight. She used all her weight and landed on Xia Li's midsection. Looked like on her stomach. She did. Ugh. Yeah, it was nasty, man. But yeah, but right after that, Samoa Joe, he interrupted the championship celebration by calling out Karrion Kross. And, he was saying, Karrion Kross, come out and play. And so Kross, he interrupted via satellite. And so Kross, he has said that Joe is living in his world. And so Kross, he said that he could do anything he wants. And he could go anywhere he wants. For example, Monday Night Raw, which he was on last night, and he got buried. And he can attack anyone he wants, or he can hurt anyone he wants. And so Kross says, for example, And so the camera had zoomed in on William Regal, who was down on the floor. Who was down on the floor. William Regal was. He was down on the floor, and he was beaten down. He was beaten down. He was already beaten down. So Kross, Joe had went to the back, so he ran to the back, and so Kross, he said that, who's in control now? Are you gonna control me now? And so Kross had left, and so he got in his car and he drove away, and Samoa Joe ran after the car, and so he went back and he started yelling. Joe did. He started yelling, screaming in anger, and that was it. So that was the cliffhanger. That was the cliffhanger of NXT. Now, what's gonna happen next, man? What's gonna happen now? Because you ended off a show on a cliffhanger, so you got to follow up on that. So what's gonna happen now? Is Kross gonna be stripped of the championship and go to Monday Night Raw? What's gonna happen? I think that might happen. Or will we have a match with Joe and Kross? We have a championship match with Joe and Kross for the NXT championship, and he lose the championship to Joe. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't know, because remember, Joe is not, he can't compete yet, but I think he probably is gonna be back in the ring. He will be back in that ring. So they might put him back in the ring. They might have him go up against Kross, or they might just strip him of the championship and crown a new champion, or have like a tournament or something, or yeah, have like a tournament or a number one contenders match for the championship. The winner becomes the new NXT champion. But yeah, man, it's a lot of questions, man. It's a lot of questions about Kross. Like, what's gonna happen next with Kross? We saw what happened to him on Monday Night Raw, man. He got buried, dude. He got buried on his first night. He lost in his first night on Monday Night Raw, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I'm still upset about that. I'm still upset about that. Like, why? How can you mess up Karrion Kross? That's the one part I don't get. How can you mess up Karrion Kross? This dude is booked perfectly in NXT. This dude had everything. He had the theme music. He had the entrance. He had the girl. Everything. He had everything, and they took that away from him. They took that away from him. Like, how can you have a Karrion Kross entrance without Scarlett? Dude, they are a package deal. They are a package deal. You can't do that, man. And when I saw it, this is my first time watching Raw. This is my first time watching Raw, and I usually don't watch Monday Night Raw because of stuff like this. That's why I don't watch it. But I watched it because I knew that Kross is gonna be on the main roster. I heard that Kross is gonna be on the main roster, so that's why I watched it, just to see what's gonna happen. And so right after that, man, I turned the TV off, man. I turned it off. I turned it off. I was like, man, I cannot with this company anymore. I can't. I can't. And so yeah, man. Dude, it don't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Did not make any sense at all. Like, dude, they put all their time and effort in building up these people in NXT, and they get called up to the main roster, and then the main roster ruin them. They ruin them. Everything that make them special in NXT, the people up there in the main roster always gotta ruin them. The people that's in charge on the main roster always gotta ruin them. Like, dude, they have everything backwards, dude. The point of NXT is to build them up for the main roster. So when they get up to the main roster, you don't have to do nothing else with them. You don't have to do anything else with them. That's why NXT was there, was to develop them, develop their characters for the main roster. So, like, once they make it to the main roster, you don't have to do nothing to them. You don't have to do nothing with them. You don't. But yeah, man, that was it with NXT, man. That was it with NXT. It was okay. It wasn't the best show. It wasn't like, I couldn't get into NXT. I couldn't dude, I couldn't invest in NXT because of what happened to Kross, what they did with Kross on Monday Night Raw last night. Just imagine, like, Kross is that type of guy that Vince McMahon would want, dude. The dude has the size, he has the body too that Vince McMahon would love. Because you know Vince like his big men. He loves his big men. And you bury him on his first night. You ruin him on his first night on the main roster. Now, if Kross, like I thought Kross was gonna be one of those people that would fit on the main roster. I thought that he'll be okay on the main roster, but man, oh man, was I wrong. Man, oh man, oh man. Like, just imagine what's gonna happen to Adam Cole, man. That's the one person that I'm fearing for the most. That is one person that I'm fearing for the most. That's the one person in NXT that I'll never want to see on the main roster is Adam Cole. I'm telling you, man, they ruin because you know it's gonna happen, dude. You know he's gonna get called up to the main roster. If they mess up Adam Cole, man, I'm telling you, man, you will not hear the end of it from me. You are not gonna hear the end of it, dude. I'm telling you, man. If they ruin him, if they ruin him, they don't deserve. They don't even deserve to run a wrestling company. If that's the case, if that happens, if they ruin Adam Cole or anybody else on the NXT. But yeah, yep, that was it. That was it. The whole Kross situation, the whole Karrion Kross incident on Monday Night Raw, it got me heated. It absolutely angered me, dude. It really did. But yeah, that was it with NXT and what happened on the show tonight. But yeah, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I'm here each and every single week. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And I'll see you guys for Wednesday for AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest Night 2. So last week was Fighter Fest Night 1, and tomorrow is going to be Fighter Fest Night 2. And so yeah, man, and I do have to tell you guys something else, man. My last week's review for NXT was blocked. It was blocked by YouTube because they said I had content from NXT. It's at NXT 2010, and I looked at it like when you have a copyright claiming a video, they'll tell you like what content was used in the video, and I didn't use any content. I didn't use no content at all, and it said NXT from 2010. And it was NXT of 2010 was a game show. It was a rookie. It was all about rookies and pros. I ain't saying nothing about no NXT 2010. And so I highlighted it. I highlighted it, and copy and pasted and searched it in the URL. And the first thing that popped up was NXT Season 1, 2010. And I was like, dude, I ain't saying nothing about this. I ain't saying nothing about no rookies and pros. I ain't had no videos in that thing. So why are they blocking my video? And so I filed a dispute. I disputed it. So I'm supposed to hear back from them. I still haven't heard back from them. But yeah, I got that stuff taken care of, man. Like why would you block somebody's video for content that they did not use? But yeah, that was it, man. So if you guys were looking for the last week's review of NXT, it's not there anymore. It's not there. So I'm trying my best to get it back up there. So yeah, man. And just like what I said, man, thank you for all the love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest Night 2. And yeah, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of NXT. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.